For 15 years and 6 whole movies, we followed one woman's fight against a world of monsters. But let's be real, the Resident Evil saga is so much more than just zombies and cool action scenes. Today, we're going to untangle the entire story, this massive, sprawling epic of corporate conspiracies and pure survival, all revolving around one person, our hero, Alice. You've got it all: corporate greed, a global apocalypse, shocking twists. But when you strip away all the zombies, the clones, and the evil supercomputers, the whole saga really just boils down to this one line. It's her story. It's about one woman fighting to survive and to figure out who she even is.
So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to walk through the films in order, starting with a single little incident in a lab. We'll see how that one spark ended up setting the entire world on fire. So let's jump right in all the way back to the beginning, to the place where this whole nightmare was born.
Okay, so our story kicks off deep, deep underground in this massive research facility called The Hive. It's run by the Umbrella Corporation. Now, publicly, these guys sell medicine, but secretly, they make a lot more money selling something much, much darker: bioweapons. And at the heart of all their secret projects is this thing, the T-virus. So someone tries to steal it, and during the heist, a vial gets shattered. On purpose. The virus instantly spreads through the Hive's ventilation system, and with that one simple act, the catastrophe begins.
So you've got these two sides, right? On one side, the giant, shadowy Umbrella Corporation. And on the other, a woman named Alice. She wakes up in a mansion nearby with absolutely no memory of who she is. Before she can even start to process anything, a military team storms in and drags her down into the now-infected Hive. See, the Hive is controlled by a super advanced AI, the Red Queen, and her solution to the outbreak was extreme. She sealed the whole facility and just killed everyone inside. Her logic is ice cold. When the soldiers try to shut her down, she defends the Hive with that now legendary laser grid, slicing them into tiny pieces without even blinking. Now, in what might be the single worst corporate decision in history, Umbrella decides to reopen the Hive to investigate. And this move? It's fatal. They unleash the infected staff and all the lab's horrors directly into the unsuspecting Raccoon City. The apocalypse is officially on. And think about that for a second. Raccoon City wasn't some small town. It was a thriving city with 500,000 people, just going about their daily lives with no idea what was ticking away right underneath their feet. And the virus moves fast, terrifyingly fast. In just 12 hours, the city is almost completely overrun. And to cover their tracks, what does Umbrella do? They seal the exits, trapping the few survivors inside with an army of the undead.
So Alice gets captured at the end of the first movie, and Umbrella does what they do best. They experiment on her. But something completely unexpected happens. Instead of turning into a zombie, the T-virus bonds with her DNA. She goes from being a highly skilled survivor to a literal superhuman weapon. Umbrella's last-ditch effort to contain the virus was to nuke Raccoon City. Yeah, they just wiped it off the map. But it didn't work. The T-virus escaped, and it spread everywhere. Civilization collapses, the world becomes a wasteland, and the few humans left are forced to live on the move in armored convoys. While she's out there on her own, Alice finds a pretty horrifying secret in an old Umbrella lab. One of their top scientists, Dr. Isaacs, has been using her blood to create a whole army of her clones. He's been trying to replicate her powers, and, well, failing miserably. So at this stage, let's just recap our villains. You've got Dr. Isaacs, who is obsessed with capturing the real Alice. Then you have the chairman, Albert Wesker, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. And the Red Queen? Well, she's offline for now, but don't worry, she'll be back. So in the middle of all this dust and death, a little bit of hope starts to crackle over the radio waves. It's a repeating message talking about a safe zone, a place called Arcadia that's supposedly on a ship and completely free of the virus. Alice eventually teams up with a group of survivors trapped in a prison, and she leads this absolutely chaotic breakout. They have to fight their way through these new, more advanced zombies to finally get to the Arcadia's location. The question is it for real? You already know the answer, don't you? Of course not. The Arcadia is just another Umbrella research ship, and it's run by Albert Wesker himself. The broadcast was just bait to lure in more test subjects. And to add insult to injury, Wesker injects Alice with a serum that completely neutralizes the T-virus in her body. Just like that, her towers are gone. So here we go again. Alice is captured, and this time she wakes up in a massive umbrella facility that's underwater. And inside, they have these huge, perfect simulations of cities like Tokyo and Moscow, all used to show off the T-virus to potential buyers by testing it on clones. And then comes the biggest twist of all. Albert Wesker, her #1 enemy, is the one who breaks her out. Why? Because the Red Queen AI is back online, and she's gone completely rogue. She has seized control of all of Umbrella, and her new goal is simple: exterminate all life on Earth.
Suddenly, it's a classic case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Wesker knows he can't beat the Red Queen alone. He needs Alice. So, in a pretty wild turn of events at the White House, he ambushes her. Not to hurt her, but to inject her with the T-virus again, giving her back all her powers for the final fight.
And so the endgame begins. The Red Queen herself contacts Alice and drops an absolute bombshell. Turns out, Umbrella actually created an airborne antivirus, a cure that can destroy every single organism infected with the T-virus. The only problem? It's located all the way back where this started, the Hive. Oh, and humanity has about 48 hours left. No pressure. As Alice fights her way back into the ruins of Raccoon City and descends into the depths of the Hive, she finally has to confront the biggest mystery of the whole series. If she had amnesia and her memories aren't even real, who was she before all this began? The answer, it turns out, lies with a woman named Alicia Marcus. She's the co-owner of Umbrella and the daughter of the man who created the T-virus. Alicia suffered from a disease that caused her to age extremely rapidly. Her father actually made the T-virus to save her life, but his partner, Dr. Isaacs, stole it to make a fortune on bioweapons. And this is where Alice learns the absolute final truth. She is a clone of Alicia Marcus. She's the healthy person Alicia never got to be. The Red Queen AI was created in young Alicia's image, and the real Alicia has been secretly helping her clone this entire time by messing with the AI's programming. So Alice releases the antivirus. She shatters that vial, and a healing wave spreads across the entire planet, destroying Dr. Isaacs, Wesker, and every last one of the undead. And as a final gift, Alicia gives Alice a copy of her own childhood memories. For the very first time, Alice is a whole person. The war is over, but now a much bigger fight. The fight to rebuild our world has just begun.